Well, my name is Ayisha. I am originally from Ohio. I've lived here in Arizona for 10 years, and I am a Black woman from the U.S. Actually, I've been working on myself a lot. I kind of feel like this pandemic is kind of a blessing and a curse at the same time. I've discovered a lot of things about myself that I didn't think that I could do over the past few months that I've done. And like I said, I've just done a lot of self-reflecting, just trying to better myself, just to live better, because I haven't been, in the past, and being isolated to being in your home, and you're not able to go anywhere, really kind of makes you think and put a lot of things into perspective. So yes, this has definitely been an eye-opener for me, and I've gotten a lot of growth out of it. So, I hate that at the moment we're going through this, but at the same time, I appreciate the growth that I receive from it. I'm tired. I when I hear things like this, it just unfortunately puts me in a state of depression, and that's something that a place where I don't want to be. But at the same time, when I look at this, I think of my own family. That could have easily been one of my relatives out there that could have happened to. And I don't want to see anybody go through this. I definitely wouldn't want to see my family go through this. I mean, it's just ridiculous. But now, I don't know, this time it really, really, really hit home. And I had to start thinking about my own children, and I just feel like I don't want to have I don't feel like my children should have to go through this and see this in the news like we've been dealing with. They shouldn't have to worry about not being able to walk down the street without being profiled or pulled over in their car and fearing that they may not make it home. There's no reason for that. And for me, that's when I really felt that, I need to really speak up and start doing something about it. I mean, before, I can honestly say that I watched the news and I just felt like, what can I do? I felt helpless. There's nothing I can do. But I think from now just seeing the outpouring of support from all races and everyone is just standing up and saying enough is enough, I feel like now I have a little more hope that there is something that I can do that could hopefully and possibly make a difference so that my children and even my grandchildren and beyond wouldn't have to worry about this. I can remember the very first time that I experienced racism, and I was about 8 years old. My father, he was in the military, and we were stationed over in Germany. And I went to a military school, but there was military and civilian children that were there. And I remember I was playing with one of my friends outside in the yard, and there was a fence that went around the play area. And we're just there, just playing, whatever. And these two guys, they walked past us, and once they moved past us, they were laughing. And, I couldn't figure out what they were laughing about, but apparently my friend knew what had happened. And she pointed up to my head, and when I touched my head, I realized that one of the guys had spit in my hair. And I was 8 years old, I didn't know why would he do something like that. He doesn't know, who I was. I was just a kid playing on the playground. And I told my teacher, and of course there was nothing that she could do about it. And I remember going home to my mom and just crying about it because I didn't know why. Why would somebody do that? I would never do anything like that to anyone because I wasn't raised like that. And that's when, at that moment, she had to explain to me, the reality of what it's like to be, Black. And sometimes, there may be people that don't like you because of the color of your skin. But one thing that I can say that I love about my parents is that they've always taught us to never look at anyone any differently than I would look at myself. Treat everyone with respect, love everyone, and I know that's not true for everyone, but over the time, like this time period, I've been talking to some people, and sorry, I'm getting a little off, but I've had people ask me, well, I don't know what to say. All I can do is just teach my children how to love. And I said, you know what? It starts in the home. If you start there, we won't have these problems. If more people would just teach that in their homes and not teach hate, we wouldn't have a lot of these problems. So that's one of the things that I do with my own children. That's the one thing that I do with anyone that I come in contact with. I don't have any type of hate in my heart, and I never would. But I just would like people to realize that this is real. Some people, you may be friends with it, you may not even realize that they've experienced things like this. And I think for a lot of people, they see it on the news, but they don't know anyone maybe personally that may have dealt with this. But it's real, and it still happens. And, I'm 41, and I still deal with things to this day. Does it change my heart? No. I still love. I still pray that things will get better. But it's really upsetting, knowing where I come from as a person who would never do anything like that, to have someone treat me that way just because of the color of my skin. I mean, I will never forget that moment. And like I said, even though that was done to me, I would never turn around and say, okay, because it was done to me, now I'm going to do something like that to someone else because it was done to me. I don't believe in that. But I'm hoping that when they did that to me, something down the line maybe changed their heart, changed their mind. They didn't apologize to me for it, but maybe there was a situation that they may have found themselves in the future that made them realize that that's not okay. I had a supervisor that when I first got to my duty station, they were just, I don't know what it was that they had against me, but they made it very clear that there was a problem between the two of us. Every day it was something different, comments towards me, just little remarks, just little things at work. And I was young, I was about 19. And once again, my father always told me, treat others how you want to be treated. If you want someone to respect you, you respect them. And we had an issue at work. I was working by myself. And when he came into work the other day, he literally just cussed me out in front of everybody without even looking at me. And I was very upset. And I said, you know what? I have to keep in mind I'm in the military. I don't want to lose my rank, even though I didn't have any. But, I'm going to let him know that you're not going to sit here and do this to me, and I have to work with you and see you every day. You're not going to bully me into this because I'm a female and I'm young. You're not going to do this. So I told my immediate supervisor, I said, I'm leaving. I'm going to my room and I'm changing. When I come back, I want to talk to the both of y'all. And he was like, okay. Okay. So I addressed the situation. I came back. I was like, hey, I don't appreciate how you addressed me this morning. If you had a problem with anything that I did, you should have pulled me to the side and said something. And for me as a 19-year-old telling you, someone in your 30s, how to be respectful, I think I deserve a little bit more respect from you if I have to come to you and tell you how to act. And he apologized, and I didn't have any problems, after that. But, that for me just let me know that regardless of anything that I go through, I have to stand up for myself. If I see something, that's not right, I need to stand up for it. And just with what we're going through today, I feel that it's my responsibility to stand up for it. Because if I don't, if I decide I don't want to do anything about it, yes, it may go on. I'm just one person, but what if there were more people that felt that way? So we just have to continue to be strong and just stand up for things that we know that aren't right. And I've experienced this a lot more since I've been here in Arizona than any other place that I've been to. And with me, I'll go into a store and I notice that a lot of times there will be white women that will be shopping and they'll leave their cart in the middle of the aisle and they'll be halfway down the aisle shopping. Just leave their cart there. And as soon as I walk up, they're running to their carts, protecting their purse because they leave their purse there in the cart. And the first couple of times I saw that, I said, okay, maybe this just, they noticed somebody that was coming and, I didn't want to leave my stuff there, so let me go get my stuff. But there has been a few times that I observed, just sat back and just looked and said, okay, let me see what's going to happen when all these other white people walk through. And they would just stand down there shopping, just get in their stuff. They would walk past their purse. They would never move to go get it or anything. And I know these are different people, but to me, it's one and the same, And it's happened to me more often than a lot. That I've seen that in the store where, as soon as I come, they're running for their cart or walking towards their cart to get their purse. And I'm thinking, why in the world would you even leave your purse there unattended in the first place? But yet now when I come, it's like, what are you thinking? Are you thinking I might steal your bag? What's going through your mind? And why is it because of my skin color that you feel that way? And I feel like we get put in this big basket, as Black people. We're thieves, or we're all ghetto, or we're all drug dealers, or we're all this or we're all that. And I mean, we all know that's not true. There's people that are that way. There are people that aren't that way. But that goes for any race. Every race has some kind of bad apple or somebody that's doing something that they probably shouldn't be doing. But when it happens, when it's just a known thing, like you kind of already know that sometimes if you're looked at a certain, you're looked at a certain way. It just bothers me because I know I'm not that type of person. And there was one occasion where I wanted to just go off on this lady because at this point it happened to me several times. And this one particular lady, I just want to go off on her and just, really just give her the business. But I was like, what is that going to do? And I had to think, okay, well, what if you cause a commotion and then, something happens? Like, all of this is going in my mind. Like, what if I cause a situation and the police come or, and I shouldn't have to think about these type of things. But this is the kind of stuff that I think about when I go into the store. I was just in the store the other day and it was the same situation. And instead of me going over there, I said, I'll wait till she's done shopping and then I'll go around. But why should I have to do that, because of my skin color?
You have to wait.
I have to wait because I don't want it to seem like I'm going to take your purse or do something, theft or whatever, whatever might be going through your mind, I don't know. She could have been somebody that maybe she would have stood there, I don't know. But I've gone through it enough to know that I have to react differently when I'm around people like that. And I shouldn't have to. I shouldn't have to. If you feel like you can only trust certain people to be around your personal values, even though you don't have no idea who these people are because they're the same skin color that you are. But you look at me as, oh my gosh, she may take my purse or whatever, let me go get it. That's a problem. That's a problem. And I don't talk about it anymore. I used to, just get upset, but now it's just, to me, it's just like a common thing. And I think it's crazy. I would never want my children to have to deal with that. So This is another reason why I'm here. I want to stop that. I want to be looked at as a woman, not because of what color I am. I want you to look at me as a person, not who you think I may be, even if you don't know me. Because if I see you walking down the street, I'm not going to look at you and judge you, especially if I have no idea who you are. But seeing this going on and knowing that I served my country for 6 years, I didn't have to, but that was something that I chose to do. I didn't serve for this. I didn't serve to see, black men, black women getting killed in the streets by cops that, are racist. I didn't serve for that. I didn't give up my time and my life for something like this. When you sign your name on that contract, you're protecting and you're serving for the rights of everybody, for everybody's freedom, not just a particular group of people. So that, again, also upsets me to know that, what was my service for? If we still have to deal with this in 2020, and I served and, could have lost my life for this, I feel like it was in vain. I don't know if there's any other service members that feel that way, but there probably are. But that's another thing that's really upsetting as well. When you get deployed, you're going to fight a war. It's a war, but it's not a war. You want me to fight against my own people because they're standing up to something that they're tired of dealing with. And the people that haven't dealt with, they see what's going on and they're saying, no, we're not going to stand for this. But you're going to deploy the military, against these people when all they're doing is exercising their right to protest. I have a problem with that. Because then that tells me, well, what freedoms do we really have? If the military has to come in because I'm standing here saying, no, that's not right, but you don't care, and you're like, well, we're going to send the military in and make sure that we have you under control, that, to me, that's a problem. That's a huge problem. And I really hope that people think about that and feel like, okay, now you're violating my rights as a person to protest. I'm doing nothing wrong, I'm being peaceful, but you're gonna send in force against me because I'm speaking out against something that's wrong. So I hope people think about that, especially the people that really haven't, I'm not gonna say haven't gotten on board, but really still don't see that there's a problem. That should disturb you if you see these people out here exercising their right, but they're met with force. I didn't feel disrespected at all, and I have the utmost respect for him because he gave it all up. He didn't care if he lost his job. He didn't care that he was going to lose contract deals. He didn't care about the money. He said, I'm standing up for something that I believe in that is wrong, and I don't care what happens. If you want to take my money away from me, take it away from me. And to me, that's a real sacrifice. You won't find people that will do that. Who would be willing to give up everything that they have for another person that they don't even know personally? But the fact that they feel in their heart and they know that there was so much injustice going on and they want to do something to fight it, and they're willing to risk everything, I have nothing but respect for him. I never felt disrespected for him taking a knee or any of the football players. And maybe for me, it's because I'm a black woman and I understand why he did it. But at the same time, I feel like as a human, just seeing what is going on, why wouldn't I want to stand up for something like that?